Let's start our template journey here by taking a look at the application display templates. Now, application display templates are going to be unique in that their primary job is to display dynamic data in markup. And one of the ways they do this with our widgets is by using the asset renderer code to reference not only the assets on display, but also what information we want to display and control with those assets as well. So we can use these ADT, which is a shorter way of saying application display template, to add a new presentation to our different widgets or applications that are displaying some of our content. Now, Liferay comes with a number of default ADTs here. ADT is just the shorthand way of saying application display template, so that we can provide new presentations for a number of the out-of-the-box widgets. So things like the asset publisher, blogs, categories, navigation menus, wikis, etc. These allow us to have a lot more control over the presentation of each of these different parts of the platform. So navigation, for example, instead of having to worry about hard coding different kinds of navigations maybe in your theme, you can simply provide a navigation ADT or multiple navigation ADTs to be used for different use cases. Additionally, things like the asset publisher, which is a great tool for determining what we want to display and how we want to display it when it comes to content, we can control the presentation for the asset publisher as well. So this gives us a lot of power in controlling the presentation on the platform. Now, developers who are creating custom modules for your platform can also actually tie into the application display template API. What they need to do is they need to register their applications to use application display templates. They need to define permissions and then expose the ADT functionality and features to users on the platform. All right. And what this would allow them to do is essentially create a module that has the functionality that they need and then hand it off to us front-end developers to create the presentation that we need for whatever the functionality is in that widget. Okay. So again, Liferay has some of this out of the box, but developers can do this as well when creating custom modules. All right, so if you're interested in that, there is definitely some documentation on this, and we talk about this a bit in our backend developer course as well. All right, so to create our new application display templates, we need to go to the site administration, go to build, and then application display templates. Here we can go ahead and choose what kind of ADT we want to add, and then we can actually use the editor provided to us to take advantage of some of those general variables available to us to get us kickstarted in our development of our ADTs. So here's an example of some of the variables that are available to us. All right, we have the asset entries variable that we can use in the editor, and this gives us an if statement that is checking and listing our current entries for whatever content is on display. This is specifically helpful for things like the asset publisher, where we're going to have a large group of content that is either on display set manually or dynamically updating, and we need our code in our ADT to be able to keep up with the dynamic change of the content. From there, within the if structure, we can go ahead and add some attributes to set on the display content as well. All right, so let's go ahead and recap here, and then we'll go ahead and dive in and create some of these together. So we have the ability to customize the look and feel of a number of widgets on the platform using these ADTs. All right. There is a number of default options that we have for out-of-the-box features. Like I said, things like the asset publisher or navigation or some of the other asset widgets. Those are important because those can play a huge part in how you display content on the platform. In addition to this, developers can go ahead and actually add the ADT functionality to their own custom widgets or modules as well, giving the front-end developers control over the different kinds of presentations you might want for that particular widget. Of course, we can take advantage of FreeMarker. We can take advantage of all of the features we've learned about FreeMarker, even throughout our theme development. And we have the ability to take advantage of that template editor, which gives us access to some of those variables just right out the gate as we're developing our ADTs. So let's go ahead and dive in and create some of these ADTs together. One example from the Livingston Hotels and Resorts is that we have a number of blogs that are going to be generated and displayed on a Livingston Life site. So we want to go ahead and make sure that the presentation looks nicer than the default asset publisher presentation. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in.